Hey everyone, my name is Hanley. Thank you so much for joining me today in the studio. We're going to be painting this cute little ornament. I had so much fun painting this. I found these cute little trees at Michael's, and right now, 'tis the season, you can find all these cute little ornaments. You don't even have to make them out of quick wood, which is what I did a few months back, but you can buy them at the Dollar Tree or any place like that. Michael's has them. Any craft store basically has those cute, tiny little ornaments. Okay, so this pattern is on my website. It's just hollyhanley.ca. Okay, if you'd like to follow along. Today I'm using all DecoArt products. Okay, so I've got lots of DecoArt paints that I'm going to be using, the Americana paints, and I'm also using some Snow Tex. I've got some glitter, and I have a few other little ideas for this piece. So I'm going to show you that along the way as well. So I'm excited. I thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe and like my channel if you'd like to see more videos. All right, let's get started. So as you can see, I actually have these little wood cutouts. Okay, they come like this. I'll have more on my website soon, but they're such a cute little cutout, and I love contrast, so I usually paint the backgrounds with black. Okay, and I trace the pattern on with white tracing paper, white graphite paper. Okay, and it looks like this. So this is the tracing paper. I just traced a little design onto some tracing paper, regular, and then I slide this. It's called graphite paper. It just comes in white and black. It goes chalky side down. Okay, so if you line up your piece, hold it on the one side, and then just slide this underneath, you can trace all the pattern lines on with what's called a stylus, okay? Or you can use a pencil. Okay, so either one works just fine. All right. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to do a little bit of base coating. And again, you can see these cute little trees. They come in a 2-pack from Michael's, and they're so cute. Like I just couldn't resist myself. And I just cut the little bottoms off. So, and I used a little wire to attach that little ornament. Okay. And I thought these would make such a cute little baby's first Christmas. So if you wanted to put their name on it, or, make it pink or like light blue, that little car would be super cute, super cute. And but today we're gonna do the red one. Okay, so and I always tell people, feel free to tag me if you post your pieces. I always love to see everybody's creative works. So you can tag me at Holly Hanley Artist, and or I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So you can also follow me there. All right, so let's get started. I've got a couple of base coated because I actually wanted to do a pink and a blue one. For the baby's first Christmas, but we're going to start with that red one. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit of base coating first. Okay, so if you have the pattern, as you can see, I did do a little bit of base coating with sort of a margarita color. This is a really nice light green. Okay, and it makes the red pop. So if you paint red just over the black, it really doesn't, it doesn't have that pizzazz that you want it to have. So if you actually paint red or green underneath, it'll really make that red come to life. It's quite awesome. And actually, I made I made this little tester board to see like how bright the reds would be with different colors underneath. So I've got like a margarita color, I've got a yellow, a gray, and a white, just to see which one was the brightest and which ones I like the best. So it's kind of nice to have those little tester boards, see how things are going to work. But for this one, I love the margarita underneath. So we're going to just do a little bit of that. Okay, and one other thing when I'm doing when I base coat that area with black and I trace the pattern on, usually what I do is I like to leave those little graphite lines showing. Okay, so that in the end, when you erase them, if you look really nice and close, you can see that I have a little bit of black showing in between the sections. Okay, especially on the door here, it really pops out around the star and so on. Okay, so I find that it adds that extra little shadowing and separation. Okay, so make sure that you don't, try to leave the graphite line showing wherever you can. Again, just to help with that little bit of shadowing. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm just going to take this ornament here and do a little bit of base coating. Okay, so bear with me. Ha ha ha. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of base coating here. So grab a brush that's nice and close to the area that or as big as the area that you're base coating. Okay, so basically all those little, if you have a smaller flat brush, that would be great. Okay, so I've got a little, I have a couple different flat brushes that I'm going to be using. Okay, so whatever size that you have that's handy, that would be great. I've got an 8 here, that might be a little bit big, so I'm just looking for another one here that's a little bit smaller. Okay. Oh, and again, I'm using all of the little Princeton brushes. Those are my favorite. And we're going to be using those lunar blenders here in just a minute. Maybe you've heard me talk about them before. Absolutely love them. They're my favorite brush, and they work great for dry brushing and all kinds of whimsical strokes. So, and I'll show you those in just a minute. Okay, but for now, I'm just going to take a little bit of margarita, and I'm going to do that little bit of base coating. Okay, so all the red areas. Okay, again, just going around the little star. Okay, and if you have a little star, you could always just glue it on, which would be super cute. Okay, so like this. So I'm just taking that margarita and I'm going to base coat all of those areas. Okay, like so. And you can use a round brush wherever you need to. Okay, anything that gets the job done, that works. Okay, so you can go ahead and base coat all of those little spots. Okay. Okay, so I've got this cute little car all base coated. I did all the, well, all the red areas anyway. Okay, so the bow I have and all the bottom of the car, all those little candy cane stripes. Okay, those were all done with margarita, which is a nice kind of limey green. It works great. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of shadowing. Okay, so this is actually, we're going to add the shadowing with a little bit of evergreen. Okay, so if you have some of that, grab that. And I'm going to do that actually with my lunar blender. Okay, so right here, we've got a little bit of shadow just above the running board, okay, around the door. We've got a little bit of shadow right here. So it's a little bit different than how you would normally do. So if you like to shade, you can definitely do that. But sometimes it's nice to try something a little different. And I found that this worked really well because red, the Tuscan red that I'm using today is actually, it's a little bit transparent. So when you paint it over top of this, like the lighter and then with a little bit of shadow, you can actually see that underneath and you already have it ready to go. Okay, so basically, the lunar blenders are shaped like a filbert, so they have a rounded tip on them, and they have sort of a synthetic hair, like a soft hair mixed with a bristle hair. And they work so well for me for any kind of whimsical strokes that I do. I use them on pretty much every project. So much fun. Okay, so this is the 1/8 inch. They come in different sizes. There's a quarter, 3/8, half inch, 1 inch. Okay, so I use the smaller sizes the most. Okay, so what we're going to do is how I blend, and I usually say it's a dry brush, but it's more like a wet dry brush. And I actually wet the brush first. That softens up the bristles just a little bit. Okay, tap off all of the excess water. And then you basically take a little bit of paint, blend back and forth, and that just gets rid of the excess and evenly distributes the paint on your brush. Okay, so just taking that little bit of evergreen, and I'm just going to pull a little bit on each side of those stripes. Okay, so again, blend. Make sure that you tap it off a couple times because sometimes that water runs down when you lift up your brush, but just sort of doing little horizontal or sort of diagonal strokes like this. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of shadow starting to happen. I'm just kind of loosely whimsical dry brushing it in. Okay, so it looks a little bit streaky, but you know what? It really does work in the end. So I always say things go through those sort of ugly stages, but they get better and better. So don't worry. Okay, so I've got a little bit of shadow pulled on each side, okay, like this. You can even darken a little bit if you want. I'm going to put a little shadow on each side of this little green stripe as well, okay, that's going to stay green. Okay, I've got a little bit of shadowing. I'm just going to kind of brush in those corners. Okay, this is all just with that lunar blender, so it's going to add a little bit of texture. It's not going to be perfectly, smooth and soft, and I think that's what I like. I like soft edges. I don't like anything that's, too perfect. So right in here, and it all comes together because it's all the same. Okay, nothing in this world is perfect. So just taking that little bit of evergreen, you're going to add a little bit of shadowing right along the bottom here, like this. Okay, a little bit on the wheels. So we've got those nice little rims on there, like that. So I'm just brushing a little bit at the bottom of each little wheel. Okay, so again, a couple little spots here. We're going to add a little bit on the frame on the car, like this, just brushing that in. Okay, again, I hold my brush a little bit farther down, so it's right on the ferrule, the metal part of the brush. Rest your hand as much as you can, and the trick is just make sure that you don't have lots of paint on your brush, and definitely make sure that you tap off all that excess water. Okay, so usually, again, I sort of tap it off a few times. Okay, so maybe a little bit on the steering wheel. Okay, and then that little edge right here on the car. All right, little shadowing right in there. And we've got his cute little hat, needs a little shadow. So I'm just brushing a little bit of color, okay, on those little shadow areas. Okay, so what we did, just to kind of recap, we did each side of those little candy cane stripes on the top of the car. Okay, like this, just pulling from the outside edge in. So this sort of puts that highlight in the middle of those stripes and it looks more rounded, which is what you want. Okay, so a little bit right in here, a little bit right there on each side. Okay, and I did the whole little piece right there. Okay, the steering wheel, we did a little bit on the hat. Okay, right near the hat cuff. Okay, a little bit at the bottom here of that little. He's driving fast, so that Santa hat's just flying behind. Okay, and we've got the corners here like this. And then, of course, just above that running board, you're going to add quite a bit, and then the bottom of the wheels. Okay, so all of those little areas, okay, that we're going to do, you can add some of that. And then basically, once that's dry, we're going to take and paint over top with Tuscan red. And this is the fun part. Tuscan red, absolutely my favorite red. I love it so much. Okay. And it's so nice and vibrant. And we're going to take just kind of the same brush that you used before. So if you had a little flat brush that you like to use and a round, so you're just taking a little bit of that red, and if you want, you can add just the tiniest little bit of water to the paint so it's a little bit more transparent even. And you're going to go over top of those areas. Okay, so you can see that that evergreen is showing through. So it looks like we almost have like our highlight and our shadow already done, which I think is so cool. Okay, so just a little different way to do it. Okay, so basically, I don't know if you can see that really well, but it looks like it has a shadow already and a highlight. So I'm just going over top. This is just a flat brush. I'm just going to sneak it in some of those little corners. I know it's a little bit big, but we're going to go over top of the hat. Or, you could even leave this green. The car looks so cute and green. You could, again, do like a pink for a little baby girl. So many different options, and I actually have a couple more ideas for this piece too. Okay, like so, which I'll show you in a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to go over top of all of those little areas. Okay, steering wheel. Again, feel free to leave anything that you want green. I'm going to do his little hat. Okay, don't worry if you go over top of some of the black areas as well. Those little, it just adds to the shadowing. Oh, I forgot the little handle, but I can always paint that real quick. Okay, I'm just going to switch to my round brush here and I'm going to paint in the rest of those little areas. Okay, right in here, like so. Oh, that's going to be green. Whoopsies. And if you make mistakes like I do, okay, it just comes right off if you catch it right away. The acrylics are nice because, you know, you just take a little touch of water and it just comes right off. So, okay, so I'm just going over all of those little sections. Okay, again, even if you, oops, even if you go over a couple of the little black graphite lines, it'll still show a little darker. So, okay, all right. I thought this would be such a fun little ornament to do. My kids love this little Tykes car when they were little. My daughter was a super bad driver and she would crash into everything. And, you know, we used it inside our house and we went outside with it in the summer. You know, we'd push the kids on the sidewalk. Like it was so fun. Such great memories with this little car. I thought it would make such a cute little ornament. So, and it would be really nice if you personalized it. So you could put, you know, their name on that little and their birthday or whatever you like. Okay. So right in here, just painting all those little areas with the green. Okay. Just painting over all the little base coated green areas with the Tuscan red. Okay. And again, if you have a favorite red that you love to use, feel free. You don't have to stick with what I did. That's the great thing about painting. I love to see what everybody does. Okay, so one more little thing I forgot to do is that inside of the wreath, okay, you can also put a little bit of red in there as well. Okay, and then I've got just a little section right there that I missed. Okay, I think that's pretty much it except for the wheels. So, like so. All right. So we've got this all base coated and we are not done yet. I know, I always kind of go overboard with the layers, but you know, it's fun. It adds dimension and I think it looks so great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually highlight, okay? So another one of my favorite colors is the neons, okay? So if you have a chance to get this, totally get it if you don't have it. It's called Fiery Red. It's Americana Neons and it works to highlight any color of red. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's so pretty. And we're just going to add a nice little highlight in some of the sections. Okay, so along the top of the running board, you know, just in the center of each of those little candy cane stripes on the hat and so on. Okay, so again, you're going to hear me say this a lot, but we're going to use that lunar blender. If you have the little 1/8 inch lunar blender, that's what I'm pretty much using for the whole thing. Okay, so again, just taking that little bit of fiery red, like so. Okay, blend. Okay, and again, I always load the brush the same. But at first, tap off all the excess water, and then you're going to take a little bit of that fiery red, blend back and forth on your brush, and that just gets rid of the excess paint. Evenly distributes it on your brush, and we're going to highlight, okay, by just going back and forth like this. And look at how that pops. Like, it's just so fun. I absolutely love bright colors. Most of my pieces are done with kind of like primary color scheme because it's the happy scheme, the happy color scheme. I love it. So bright yellow, bright red. Okay. bright blue, and everything in between. Okay, so basically I'm just going back and forth like this, right in here, every which way. Well, not every which way, actually only one way. I'm just going back and forth like this, and those little, okay, it really brings it to life. Pulling down from the top of that little hat, okay, give it a nice little highlight on the top of the Santa hat. Okay, looks super cute. The car is just coming to life, and we're going to do all of those little red areas because why not? We're going to bring it all to life. Okay, especially the top of that little running board. I'm going to add quite a bit of color. Like so. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit around the star. I just can't believe like how it comes to life with this color. I love it. Okay, Fiery Red, Neon's Fiery Red by DecoArt. Okay, you need it. Put on your Christmas list. Okay, so like this, there's really nothing that compares to this color. All right, and because that was so much fun, we're gonna do it all again. Okay, because I can't get enough of the bright. So I'm gonna do all those little areas again. As long as they're nice and dry, you can go over and add a little bit more. Okay, like this. This thing is just gonna glow. It's gonna be so cute. Okay, so right on the little wheels. Okay, right in here. Like so. The second layer is so much easier because you've already done those couple. It's just kind of jumping around and adding another little dash here and there. Okay, so you can see how much brighter it got. So fun. And then don't forget that little, you know what, I forgot the little tail light. So I'm just gonna poke a little bit of color in there right now. Okay, I'm gonna let it dry and then I'll come back with, you know, 10 layers of that neons. So it really looks like it's glowing. I'm just gonna really kind of load it on. So it looks like it's got that nice glowing tail light. So cute. Okay, so rinse out your brush when you're done. And we're going, oh, totally forgot the bow. Okay, we're gonna add a little color on the bow as well. So bows, usually what I do is I start with the loop right here. Okay, so just doing a little dash in the center. Okay, like this. So on each side, right in there, we're gonna add a little dash of hot shots, okay, and then our neons, and then a little dash on the knot, and then the top of those little loops, okay? So I left a little black line right here, where the graphite line was, showing around the knot, and then I'm also going to dash on a little bit on those ribbon ends, okay? So again, you can kind of make it look like it's got a little bit of a curve in it if you add, you know, leave a little space kind of in the center there at a little bit of a diagonal. Looks great. Okay, so right in there, I'm going to add that little door handle so we can get in the car. All right, and then we've got a little bit of highlight on those tires. Okay, so there's our little bow. Okay, just highlighting each section. It really pays to leave the graphite line showing on the bow especially so that you have that separation and the little bit of shadowing. Look at how it just comes to life. All right. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry really well. We'll come back to it because we're gonna add a little bit of white, but we're gonna loosely base coat those white stripes with turquoise blue. Again, usually what I do is I base coat with the shadow color and then I just add highlights on top. So that's how I roll. I don't do a lot of shading. I do mostly dry brushing. Okay, so we're gonna take a little bit of that turquoise blue. It's so pretty. If you don't have that, you can use true blue and add some white or, you know, whatever you got. So don't worry, it's all good. people kind of fret over not having the same color, but if you have something close, it's totally fine. Okay, don't sweat the small stuff. Okay, so basically I'm just gonna take a little bit of that blue. It's a nice light blue. And you know what? We'll add a little windshield on this thing. Okay, would look nice if we add a little bit of okay, like this. Right in here, you can see a little bit of the, well, they don't actually have a windshield, it's just open, but we can pretend. Okay, and then we're gonna add like this, those little white stripes. Okay, again, you can see I always blend off the excess paint, get rid of the excess water, and we're going to take just kind of dry brushing, almost like a really whimsical stroke where you leave a little bit of the black showing on either side. So you can see I'm just kind of doing a little pendulum stroke back and forth like this. Okay. So you can see I have a little bit of black sort of showing on each edge. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add the white on top. Okay. So, and that'll just give it that nice little candy cane look. It hasn't snowed here. I live in Canada. I'm from Saskatchewan, and usually by like December, we have lots of snow, and there's none. And don't hate me, but I really miss the snow. I love the way that the decorations look outside when the lights are shining and the snow's sparkling. So I really miss it. I hope it snows a little bit before Christmas. Okay, so we've got all those little white areas. Okay, I just base coated those basically with blue. And then I am going to blow dry real quick. Here, I'm just gonna put you on mute here for a second while I blow dry. Okay, so I just blow dried that, make sure that it's really nice and dry. And I'm gonna take white now. So again, make sure that you shake up your paint. Shake it, baby. Okay, so add a little bit of white, and we're gonna take that color, blend off the excess. Okay, tap off the excess water. And we're gonna do a little sort of pendulum back and forth, and you can leave a little bit of the blue showing on either side for shadowing. Looks so cute. So cute. Okay, like this. You gotta talk to your projects, right? Okay. So taking a little bit of white, like so. So I was thinking of doing an ornament club. Gotta obviously get on that, but let me know if you're interested. I think that would be sort of fun to do an ornament each month during the year. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit, just comment below. Comment below if you like the video or if you like to see more things or something in particular. Okay, so we've got that little bit of white, and then we're going to do it again. Make sure that it's nice and dry. Okay. So you can see I always rest my hand on my pinky, so I have lots of control over the brush. And we're going to be adding a little dash of white, okay, on each stroke, on each little stripe. Okay, and you can see how I left and a little bit of blue on each side. It looks so cute. And maybe you noticed, but it's almost like there was getting to be a little bit of a hole in the center there where the paint won't stick. It just means that the underlayer isn't quite dry. So I'm going to let it dry and then I'll come back and I'll add a little bit more. Okay. So, and then, you know what, while we have a little bit of white, let's just do that star. Okay. So we'll give it sort of like a primer base. So I'm going to take a little bit of white, still using my lunar blender because it's my favorite. And we're going to just really loosely base coat that little star. Usually I start kind of at the head and pull into the legs. I always say like, and they have little arms, okay, like so. So just painting that in with some white. It's going to be yellow, but we'll let it dry for a minute. Okay. And just when we have a little bit of white and we're still waiting, I'm going to add a teeny little highlight on the red stripes. Okay. So again, this is where you want to make sure that you get rid of all the water in your brush and blend off the excess paint. Okay. So it's just so light. And it's like I'm starting up here. Okay, and hitting the surface in a little bit of a U stroke and pulling up. So it's hitting the surface in the center of the stroke so that you can't tell where my stroke started or where it stops, like the which side I started on. So sometimes if you just press your brush down and pull, then you know exactly where that brush mark started. Okay, whereas if you do it in a U stroke like this, okay, both edges of that stroke are nice and soft. Okay, so you can't tell, which is nice. Okay, so just taking that little bit of white, I'm doing a teeny little dry brush, okay, on those little candy cane stripes, and you can see how much it just kind of makes it come to life. Okay, maybe a little bit on the wheel. All of these little areas, you can add a little sparkle with some white, and if it goes on a little heavier, then it's just snow. That's the great thing about painting holiday pieces. You know what? If you need to fix something or you can always make it snow. I love it. Okay. All right. So just adding a few little highlights here and there. Okay. So I'm going to come back now that this is nice and dry and just make those stripes even brighter. Do, 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 do. Okay. So lots of that white. Okay. I'm going to make this star a little bit brighter. Like so. Okay. So we've got, just to recap, okay, we base coated all the red areas with margarita. That was a nice lime green. Okay, and then we did a little bit of shading just with some evergreen on the edges with my lunar blender. Okay, I took Tuscan red when that was dry and I kind of washed over top of all the red areas. When that was dry, I highlighted with fiery red, love that color. Okay, and then now I'm just adding a little sparkle dash of white. You can even take a liner brush or just really lightly sort of make a little line in the brightest area, okay, like this. So, and then I did turquoise blue underneath the white stripes, okay, and then just white. Love it. Make it nice and bright. Okay, but there's still a nice little shadow on each side, so it looks nice and rounded. Okay, and then I base coated the little star with some white so that the cad yellow or the yellow that you use will really pop. Okay, and then of course with the bow. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to add a little stripe, okay, on those. We're going to use evergreen. Okay, again, like I said before, I love to use the shadow color and then I just add the highlights on top. Okay, so this is going to add a nice little stripe through those little white, okay, stripes. Okay, so this is, I'm just using a small round brush and I'm taking a little bit of evergreen and going over top the white. Okay, looks so cute. Like so. Okay, and then also we're going to do that, that little wreath as well. Okay. So the little wreath is done with a little bit of evergreen, and then we're just going to slip slap some of the evergreen and the margarita. Okay, and add some little berries. So we've got, okay, a little bit of evergreen, and all I did, okay, so when I say slip slap, and I say that a lot, because I do it a lot. I love slip slapping. Okay, it gives some texture. So, and this is what we're gonna do on the bear as well, but a slip slap is basically when you just kind of go every which way. So this is what I call not Don't think too much stroke. Don't overthink it. People overthink things. Just have fun. It's all good. So right in there, just kind of going every which way like that. And that's how I did the wreath. So we're going to take that little bit of evergreen every which way on the little wreath, like so. Okay. And voila, we have the first base on. Nice and easy, right? Okay. And then I'm just gonna let that dry for a minute. Okay. And while I'm letting that dry, I'm gonna take that beautiful margarita color. If you don't have margarita, you can use olive green. What else do we have? Olive green, there's matcha green, there's a few greens. Okay. So just taking that olive or margarita, and we're just gonna do a little dash with the round brush in the center of each one of those little lines. Okay. So right here, we're gonna add that little highlight. Love it. It looks so cute. Okay. So all those little spots, they get a little dash right in here in the center of those little stripes. Okay, looks so cute. And I might even leave the door handle green. That looks cute. Okay, so now that our little wreath is dry, we're going to take evergreen and margarita, mix those two babies together, and we're going to do a little slip slap every which way like this. Okay, so evergreen and margarita, just slip slapping. Okay, and you just sort of pull towards the outside edge here and there. Okay, like that. It just looks kind of floofy. Okay, and then we're going to do it one more time just with margarita on top in the center. You don't have to cover up everything, just, highlighting with a few little dashes. We need a wreath on the front of the car. That looks so cute. If you could find a little wreath, that would look cute too. Could just glue it on. Okay, like so. So cute. There's our little wreath. And then just add a couple little berries. So use your little stylus. This one is an old stylus. I've had it for a long time. And then usually I do like three little berries, a little clumpy. Okay, three little dots together. Looks super cute. Okay. All right, so there's my little ornament wreath on my little ornament. Okay, do. Okay, so adding all of those little dots. You can add as many as you want. Sometimes it's hard to stop because it's fun. Okay. Oh, you gotta have fun while you're painting, right? It can't be stressful. Too many things in life are stressful. Just have fun. All right. So we've got that cute little wreath done. Isn't it cute? Oh. All right. So we're gonna add another little highlight on. We'll do the star first, actually. Okay, so, and I might have forgot cad yellow on the list. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure if it was on the list or not, but grab a yellow. Oh, yes, I've got some cad yellow right here. And it's pretty. Or you can use bright yellow or sunny day. Any of those yellows. Oh, I see mine is empty over here. Okay, so we've got cad yellow. Love it. It's nice and bright. Okay, so we've got that, and you can just go right over top of your star. This is going to be so much better that we put white underneath. Okay, like this, and you can use your little round brush or your lunar blender. I'm going to leave that up to you. Okay, like so. And again, if you wanted to, you could use a little star cutout. I had some star cutouts. Oh, right here. Okay, love the Dollar Tree, love all Dollarama, all things dollar. Except, have you noticed that the dollar stores aren't $1 anymore. They're $1.50, they're $1.25, they're $5. Like it's kind of, but still affordable. So far, I can still afford everything in the store. Okay, so you can take a little star. Look at how cute that would be. And just glue it on. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it up to you. It's choose your own destiny. Okay, choose your own adventure. So basically just taking that little, I just base coated it with a little bit of white, or sorry, cad yellow. And then we'll just take a little bit of white and add a little sparkle at the top of the star. So I usually just start at the top and kind of pull down. That got really white. So I'm gonna take a little yellow and pull it back. All right, we don't want to. Okay, there's our cute little star. So, and again, it's kind of wonky, but I like it. So now what else do we have? We have our cute little bear. Okay, and the wheels. So let's do those little wheels. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of base coating on the bear and then we'll work on the wheels while that's drying. Okay, so if you have a little bit of burnt umber and some black, okay, or if you have soft black, that works too. That's great. You're gonna take your lunar blender, and remember when I talked about doing the little slip sloppy thing? That's how we're gonna base coat this cute little guy. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get in a little closer to this guy right here. He's so cute. Or she, you can make it a little she. Doesn't matter either way. So again, we're using that little lunar blender and we're gonna take burnt umber and a little bit of black and you're gonna mix those two together. Mix, 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 mix. Okay, so get rid of any water. We don't like water today. Okay, burnt umber, a little bit of black. So fun. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna slip slap with ridges. So when I teach these little bears, I always say, just forget everything that your other teachers have taught you for a little bit. And you're gonna go to the dark side of base coating where you want ridges. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that paint and this is what it looks like, same sort of stroke, but it's like every which way, kind of like a little slip slop. And you can see, I don't know if it's shining in the light, but look at the ridges on each side of the stroke. That's what you want. Okay, and then when we dry brush over top, that's what's gonna pop out. So black and burnt umber, or you can use soft black, but really load it up on your paintbrush. See how much paint I have on there? A ton. Okay, as much as I can fit. And I'm just going to slip slap every which way on my cute little bear. And you can go around that little nose or you can go over it, whatever you like. Okay, so he's got that cute little, I'm going to go over top of his smile, but I'm going to pick up paint every couple strokes. Okay, like this. So see how I'm doing that? Just kind of slip slapping, brushing every which way. So he has lots of texture. Okay, and I don't want any of those little bumps to stand out more than the others. So just do them all the same. Okay, and if there's one that's standing out more than the other, kind of go over it so that it softens it a little bit. Okay, gonna use more paint. Look at that. All right, so just using burnt umber, a little bit of black, so it's nice and dark. Okay, slip slapping every which way, go right over top of those cute little eyes. Okay. I don't know if that little bit, I know this is so dark, so I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but his little paw is right on the steering wheel. Okay. Hopefully he's a better driver than my kids were. That's the fun part, right? Okay, so every which way. Just taking that little bit of paint, lots of paint, going every which way. Base coating so that you have ridges. All right, tiny little bear. Okay, so can you see that? Can you see the ridges? Oh, there we go. There's the light. It's hitting the light. So there's all those little cute little ridges. Okay, don't forget his little ear that's popping out. Of course, the muzzle, the hand, and the hand on the steering wheel. Okay, so we're gonna just leave that and we're gonna come back to it. So this, we're gonna do the wheels next. Okay, so when you have a chance, you're gonna get out a little bit of black and some white, which you might already have out. Okay, and we're gonna just dry brush a little bit of color in there. So the wheels are just gray, nothing fancy. So the hubcap is painted with like a light gray. We're actually just gonna dry brush first, so black and a little bit of white. So making a medium gray, so what more like white and a little bit of black. Okay, black is so overpowering. You should start with white and just add a tiny little bit of a black. Okay, and we're just gonna use that 1/8 inch lunar blender and just dry brush a little bit of color on the wheel. Okay, so like this all the way around. Okay, it's hard to get those wheels rounded, isn't it? Try your best. I think in the pattern, my pattern's even a little crooked. Okay, so right in here, and then just do a bright hubcap. Okay, so right here, just highlighting the wheel. Okay, right there. And then pick up a little touch more white and you can paint in that little hubcap. And again, you can see my wonky little graphite lines. Those just erase with a normal pencil eraser. So don't fret. All right. Okay, you could even use a round brush just to, add a little sparkle on those little, like this. Add that little sparkle. Everyone needs a little sparkle in their life. Okay. You can even add a little dash of white on some of those little green stripes. What the heck? Okay, like so. Super cute. Okay, and then we'll do that little door while we're waiting for our cute little bear to dry. Okay, so again, we did the little hubcaps. Okay, those were just a mix of white and a little touch of black. Okay, so a dry brush of gray, and then the hubcap is just with like a lighter gray, and you can use a round brush for that. Okay, so like this, our little bear, we base coated with slip slaps of basically soft black, or you can use burnt umber and black. Just mix the two together, pick up lots of paint, and just every which way. You're gonna base coat that. Okay, so you can see mine is starting to dry. And when it dries, you'll lose, you think you're gonna lose a lot of that texture, but you know what? When it's dry, it'll still pop out when we dry brush over top. So don't worry. Okay, I don't ever add another layer. I just kind of leave it like that. And I don't actually add any texture medium to it because I find that it's too overpowering. Okay, so just like that. And then we can add a little bit of a highlight right in here too. Okay. All right. Okay, so we did the little star with a base coat of white, and then we went over with cad yellow, add a little sparkle dash of white, and we're gonna do the door next. So if you have a little bit of milk chocolate, okay, I don't know if I put that one on. So milk chocolate with some light buttermilk. Okay, so if you want to get out a little bit of that, boy, I'm losing it. I don't think I put that one on the list either. Okay, if you don't have milk chocolate, not the end of the world, just you can use another brown that's close. All right. Let me see what I have here in my little pickle jar. Okay, so this is milk chocolate and this is raw sienna. So it's just the tiniest little bit darker. So you know what? Feel free to use raw sienna. Okay, and just add in maybe a touch of burnt umber. So whatever you've got is great. Okay, you're gonna take that milk chocolate and we're gonna take the lunar blender because why not? And we're gonna go over top of the just and a round brush. So if you have a round brush too, okay. But we're loosely gonna go over top of that little door. Okay, like so. Okay, so just base coating the little door with milk chocolate. And these ones, if you turn your lunar on its chisel, which is the side of the brush, you could probably get in there like I just did, or you can use a round brush, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay. So just taking that little bit of milk chocolate, a little bit darker than raw sienna, like so. Right in here, I just got those little, okay, right in here, like so. So just adding a little bit of color in between, and then this is all with milk chocolate. It's making me hungry. I've always said I would love to name a color from DecoArt. That must be a fun job to name the colors. Margarita, milk chocolate, sunny day. What fun colors. Purple pizzazz. Fun color names, right? Okay, so we've got milk chocolate on the door. My kids started their advent calendar today. Those are always fun. Now they have all kinds of advent calendars. They should have a painting one. That'd be cool. Every door that you open has a new bottle of paint inside or a brush. Okay, like so. And some chocolate, because painting and chocolate just kind of goes together. Okay, so we've got milk chocolate. I did 2 layers. Okay, so make sure that make it nice and bright. You can do a couple layers too. And we're gonna let that dry for just a minute because it is still kind of wet. I'm gonna actually blow dry this because it's a little bit wet. So hang tight. All right, so we've got um our little door base coated, and now we have to add a few little highlights. Okay, so I wanted to keep it a nice kind of light brown. And what I used was a little bit of milk chocolate and light buttermilk. Okay, so we'll add that. Okay, so again, using that little lunar blender, these eventually, as much as I love them, I use them all the time. So eventually they do wear down a little bit, but the great thing is they're a good price. So you can have a couple. But we're just gonna take milk chocolate and a little bit of light buttermilk, or I just dipped into the white. Either one, whatever. It's all good, right? Okay, so my light buttermilk, I think. Oh, there we go. Okay, so milk chocolate, a little bit of light buttermilk, so it's not quite so pasty. And we're gonna take that and just add a little bit of highlight. Oh, too crazy. Okay, but you can sort of make it streaky so it almost looks like wood. Okay, so right in here. And I'm gonna change this one up. Instead of putting farm fresh Christmas trees, on my little sign, which I don't know if you need to base coat, but it just stays black. I'm gonna put Chase's First Christmas because that's my son's name. And I'm just gonna turn back time and pretend this is his first Christmas. Okay. Wow, that was quite a ways ago. He's 11 now. Time flies when your kids are growing. Okay, so we've got that little door. again, when we erase those little graphite lines, it looks so much better because we have that nice little separation in between the two, okay, in between all the sections, okay, and again, I'm just going to, I'm going to do Chase's first Christmas, and I am going to put some little Christmas trees in there still, okay, so those little Christmas trees, basically you just load your brush into some evergreen and then like tip into the margarita. Okay, so I'm going to take a little chalk pencil and I'm going to pencil that on. Or you could put Chase's or whatever name that you want, Christmas tree farm. I don't know. Okay, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So make sure that you post and tag me. I want to see them. Or put them in the comments. I don't know. Can you put video or pictures in the comments on YouTube? I think you can. Okay. So I'm going to put so I like to put it in with chalk pencil first, just so I know that it's in the middle. I don't know how many times I've done lettering where you kind of run out of space and you crunch all the letters at the end. Do you guys do that too sometimes? It's not just, hopefully it's not just me. Okay, but basically, take a liner brush if you've got one close. Something tiny, teeny tiny, and I'm going to paint this with white. Okay, you could leave it with the chalk, but I like it to be a little bit brighter. So I'm going to take a little bit of white and I'm going to paint this in. So, and you know what, too, you could do it in blue if you wanted. Okay, so little tips when you're lettering is add a little touch of water to your paint. It's the only time really I use water and when I do a wash. And always start at the top of the letter and pull down towards yourself, okay? Chases. First. Oh, Christmas. Or you could put Chases, Christmas trees. You know, whatever. You can make this for anybody. It's always nice to have your ornaments personalized, isn't it? Okay. Christmas. Okay, there we go. So, and then when I erase those little, I'm gonna erase the little bit of chalk pencil. It'll look nice and bright. Okay, so, and you're just gonna outline that little oval. Still gonna add the little stars. Okay. So again, holding your liner brush, hold it almost straight up and down. So you have lots of, and rest your hand so you have lots of control. Okay. And I know I'm gonna take those little stars and just base coat them with white, like so. Okay, I love the idea of making ornaments for your kids. And then, you know, eventually when they move out of the house, if that ever happens, they have some ornaments to take with them. When I moved out, I didn't have one ornament for a tree. So I think it would be so nice for the grandkids or, you know, your kids to have some little ornaments. And of course, you know, it's so special when you decorate the tree when you put on ornaments and they remind you of somebody, you know, someone special made that for you, or it reminds you of a Christmas past, or, you know, maybe someone that's no longer with you anymore. Like it's really special. So, okay. So Chase's first Christmas looks so cute. And then just, you can paint whatever you want in there. So if you want to, I'm going to put little Christmas trees, or you can paint in, I don't know, whatever that you like. Okay. So I've got a little Christmas tree. I'm just going to paint that in. Nothing fancy. You can pull up on the little branches if you want to get, you know, if you want to get fancy, you sure can. You can do whatever you like. Okay. So, and then of course they need a little tree trunk with just some brown, like so. Okay. And I might even put like a couple little snowflakes on here. What the heck? Why not? Okay. Your little liner brush, like so. Okay. And then the little star is yellow on each side. Okay, and then I think I'm going to paint this little line around with red, because I think that would be cute. It needs some red, I think. Okay, I'm gonna dip into that, and a fiery red, why not? Okay, so there's our little sign. Okay, so cute. Like this. Make sure I spelled everything right. That's happened before. Okay, so right in, I'm gonna change that too. Okay, all right, so there's our little bit of lettering. And now we're gonna do that cute little bear. Okay, so cute. Chase's first Christmas. And if you want to trace on your pattern, you sure can, or you can just pencil back in the muzzle. Okay, like this. There's our cute little nose. And everything is pretty much happy in my little world. Like for painting, I love making happy little characters. They're so cute. Okay, and then of course, those cute little eyes. All right. And then there. Okay, so there's my little bear. Now, again, like I said before, I love to base coat with the shadow color, and then I just keep adding highlights on top. So we're using that Lunar Blender. Again, like a broken record, make sure that you get rid of all the water in your brush. Okay, I still wet it first because I like to soften up the bristles just a little bit. So we've got, okay, get rid of the excess water, and we've got some burnt umber. I have some out, but I'm gonna take some more. Okay, so I've got burnt umber, raw sienna, camel, and I used to use French vanilla, but the DecoArt discontinued that one. So you can use, what did I use? So, yellow. All right, we've got that out. So basically, I'm going to take this, I call this the practice layer. So whenever I'm doing little bears, we're going to gradually build up. So I've got the soft black base. And then now I'm going to add little dry brush highlights or wispy little highlights with burnt umber. Then we've got some raw sienna and camel mixed together, and then camel, and then maybe even some cad yellow. Okay, so the first layer, and again, you want to leave a little bit of separation in between the sections. Okay, a little bit of shadowing. So I'm not going to go over the graphite lines too much, but I'm just going to slip slap again every which way like this. So this isn't anything like the base coat. Okay, this is more like a dry brush, and you're just very whimsical, loose, little airy little stroke. Okay, so you can see that they go on a little bit, it's nice and soft. Every once in a while, it'll get a little bit darker. But you know what? If you get a little blotch or something, just work around it and it's kind of softens out. So just with that burnt umber, every which way, okay, like this, we're going to do the back of his little head. And I always call this the practice layer. You don't really see it a whole bunch in the end, but it is needed to gradually build up. Okay, so just every which way, just slip slapping on his little hand, okay, his little arm, and we've got his other little hand, so you can still see some of those little graphite lines, okay, around his little nose, okay, but you can still see some of that dark base coat sort of showing through a little bit. If it's just covering up totally, you're using too much paint, okay? So always blend on your palette before you go on your piece, okay? So see how it's just kind of light, like this, just every which way, and I'm gonna leave the inside of the ear, so it's nice and dark, okay? Just a little guy. He's just a little guy, okay? And then we're going to work up to the next highlight. So the next one is raw sienna, okay? So again, do a quick little blow dry. We've got raw sienna, and we're going to go, this is where it's going to start to show up maybe a little bit more, okay? He's so tiny. So just every which way with the raw sienna, okay, like this. You can see, I always try and make where the eyes are gonna go really nice and bright because I like to be able to see those little sparkly eyes really well, and the cheeks. I love rosy cheeks. I'm sure you've heard me say that before if you painted with me. Okay, so every which way, just kind of slip slapping very loosely so there's not a lot of paint on my brush. Well, there's more than what there would be for like a regular dry brush. Okay, and then bringing this back for his little paw. Okay, and then again, we're going to add the next layer. Okay, so this is raw sienna. And you know what? Often I do raw sienna layer twice. Okay, so if you want to add just a little more with the raw sienna, okay, again, have a blow dryer handy so that you can blow dry it in between. Okay, and I know I'm going through these little bears quickly, but you can always pause the video and just keep going whenever you're ready. Okay, so just every which way. Okay, and again, I like to do the raw sienna twice. So make it a little bit brighter. He's starting to come to life, isn't he? Cute, cute, cute. Okay, so there's our raw sienna. Oops. Okay, so we're gonna do that next layer, which is raw sienna and a little bit of camel. Okay, so gradually building up. Each layer covers a little bit less area. So this one will really show up. Okay, so just this is where you can kind of get a little bit more fluffy so you can really see those little strokes. Just kind of every which way. Raw sienna and camel. Just make sure that you blend. You shouldn't have any water in your brush. It should be really nice and dry. Oh, he's gonna be so cute. And now I'm gonna have to make one for my daughter too. And we'll just turn back the clock 15 years. Okay, so we'll make her a little pink one. Okay, so right in here. So raw sienna and camel. And then every which way, just sort of slip slapping. Don't think too much. Okay, around the little outside of the ear. Okay. Oh, look at how cute he is. Okay, and then just camel. Like so. Okay, top of his little hand. But you can see how the texture really pops out. Okay, and then it's going to be camel with a little bit of cad yellow. So camel and cad yellow and a little bit of white. Okay, so it really warms it up. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, so camel, and then a little bit of cad yellow and a little bit of white. It's just such a really nice, soft, warm color. So cute. All right, so cute. All right, there's our cute little bear. He's so cute. Okay, and every time I do them, they're a little bit different. This one's a little bit brighter, I think. Okay, so when that's nice and dry, again, okay, so you can base coat either with soft black or you can mix burnt umber and black like I did. Either one works. You put on the paint really nice and thick so you get those little ridges, let it dry. And then after you dry brush those little highlights on, okay, so it's more than a typical dry brush, using a little bit more paint. Okay, so it's burnt umber, and then we've got raw sienna was a second color, and then raw sienna and camel mixed together, and then just camel, and then camel, cad yellow, and white for the last highlight. Okay, and this is all in the instructions. Okay, so if I'm going too fast, you can find the instructions on my website. So, all right, so now he needs some cute little cheeks. And I totally ran out of watermelon slice, which is my favorite, but I'm gonna just use some, I'm gonna see how this goes. This is cinnamon drop and maybe a little bit of light buttermilk. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's really pink. Okay. Oh, that's better. Okay. Cinnamon, cinnamon drop and some cad yellow. Looks kind of close to watermelon slice. We'll give it a shot. Okay, but you can take even a little stippler brush if you want. So if you have a little stippler and you want to dry brush it on, you can definitely do that, or you can just use the lunar blender like I am with a really light dry brush. Okay, so right on the little cheek area, of course, you're gonna dry brush a little bit of that rosy color. Looks so cute. I always loved it when my kids and I were outside and their cheeks were just so rosy. Okay, like this. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, and that works great. So that was cinnamon drop and some cad yellow. That worked pretty close to watermelon slice. Okay, and look at these cute little snowflakes I got. Wouldn't these be cute on the little wheels? I don't know. So cute. I might have to put those on for hubcaps. But you're gonna paint that little face on next. Again, use your liner brush. I'm just gonna use a little bit of burnt umber and black. Okay, for that little nose. So the little nose is little vertical strokes. Okay, like this, and then pull down for his little mouth line. Okay, and I usually do the nose first. Okay, and then come down a little bit. And then of course his little mouth line is kind of like a little broken line. It's not usually just one continuous line. I like to do like a little broken line. So he looks nice and fluffy. Okay. and then outline the bottom of the mouth. And then you can do the little eyes. And they're just shaped like little gumdrops. Okay. And then we'll do those little eyelashes. Okay, like so. So cute. This guy's nose is a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're gonna add a little highlight with some raw sienna and then a little bit of camel. Okay. Like this. And then the little tongue. Okay, you can actually put a little bit of the watermelon slice for the tongue. Okay. So it's just shaped like a little heart kind of the bottom of his little mouth. And then a couple little dots of white, like a little dash of white on the tongue. Okay. And then a little sparkle dot of white in the eyes. Like so. Okay. And then I also added a few little hair strokes. So, or fur strokes. So maybe burnt umber and then just a tiny little bit of black. And you can add a few little kind of wispy little hair stitches, fur stitches. Like this. Around the muzzle, just to kind of bring it out. Like that. Okay. Looks so cute. Okay. Just making his little smile just a little bit closer. Okay. So cute. Look at how cute he is. And then you can always add a little sparkle dot of white on the cheeks as well. So you can bring those little cheeks. So cute. Okay. Maybe a little sparkle dash on his little nose would look cute. Oh, cute. Okay. And then we've got, oh, what else did I miss here? Okay. Um, yes, I think I'm gonna have to put these little, so a lot of times what I do is I have a little glitter bath and I think I took it to my class the other day. Uh-oh. But you can just, if you have some loose glitter, okay, so some of the glamour dust, you can take your ornament and with a little bit of white, okay, so give me a little bit of white. Sorry, your wood cutout, okay, and you take a little bit of white like this. Okay, or you could use little stars on the wheel or whatever you want would look cute. Okay, and then just put it on something like a paper or plate, and then you just sprinkle on some of that glamour dust, and it makes it sparkle. And look at how cute that is. Ah, love it. Okay. All right, don't judge me. I don't get out much, and this makes me happy. Glitter makes everything look fabulous. Okay, so just painting those little snowflakes, and then for the little tree, okay, again, I don't You know, if you need to, you can make the little ornament out of quick wood, but it's so much easier if you just buy one. And there's some really cute little ornaments that you can buy out there right now. They're just tiny little glass ones. Okay, so that we got our little snowflakes on the wheel. Okay, I want to show you those little ornaments that you can get. They are they, you can buy them from the dollar store, and like look at how cute that is. Okay, so and they you can buy any color. Like they have all kinds of colors. And there's clear ones and white ones and green ones. So whatever you want. And then they have little trees there too. So um, if you can't find this, this was at in the little miniature section. I just took some little pliers and I cut off the bottom of the tree. Whoops, that went flying. Okay, and I used a glue gun just to secure it with some red wire. And then you can use the snow text, one of my favorite things. So take some snow text and use your little stippler brush. And usually I wet it first. And you can take a little bit of that and you can put on his cute, cute little hat brim. Okay, so right in here. And you just take, this is a stippler brush, it's a Deerfoot stippler. And you just stipple this on for his cute little hat brim. Okay, like so. And you want to try and taper it just a little bit so it looks like it's going underneath that little car edge. So maybe a little bit thicker right in this area and then taper it down on the sides. And then of course let her go on the pom-pom. Make that as big as you want because that's cute. Okay. Like this. And I mean, if you want to, you could add a little bit of snow on a few of the little places. Even on the wreath, you can pounce a little bit. Okay, the top of the car maybe could use a little bit of snow. And if you need to add a little bit on your tree, depends on what kind of tree you got, but you can add this wherever you want. Okay, but look at how cute that is. Okay, and so, and then just paint on the ear on the little ornament. Okay, usually the paint sticks pretty well. So I'm not going to really worry about putting any, you can use all-purpose sealer if you really want to, but you know, just take your liner brush and hold your breath and go. Okay, so you can put on the ear. Like so. So there's our little ear, which is nice. It's always nice to see the ear. Okay, I forgot to put Chase's birthday year. So good thing these come in packs of 12. So I'm just going to change that and I'm going to put 2012. But yeah, so there's our little ornament. Okay, and I wanted to show you one more little thing, okay, while I have you here. But I thought if you didn't have the little wood cutout, you know, you can buy those little glass blocks at Michael's, or there's also these cute little frames. Like, okay, so I bought this a while ago. I've had it in my stash for a while. And I thought, wouldn't it be cute if you did this inside? Okay, had your little tree, and then strung some lights on the top across, and then just did like a little background with some trees. And honestly, right now they have the cutest little packages right now at Dollar Tree. Um, they look like this. Okay, so here's one right now, but they're a little 3D craft kit and they have really cute trees inside them. And I thought, you know, you could put a couple little trees in the background and then even hot glue one on the front. So I'm going to do that and I'll post a picture. But I thought this would look so adorable with the lights hanging across the top, and you could hang it in, um, the baby's room or your kid's room, or they could use it as a little light box or whatever you want. I think it would just be adorable. So, and put like a little scene behind with a few little Christmas trees. Okay, and these are just adorable. You could paint them white and glitter the heck out of them, and they would just be wonderful. Okay, so, but I hope you have fun. If you liked the video, please please add a little comment. My name's Holly Hanley. I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope you like the little car video and you have fun painting them. Again, post your pictures and tag me if you like. It's at Holly Hanley Artist. And if you like this video, like and comment and subscribe. So have a very Merry Christmas. Wishing you and your family all the best.